Hey y'all, it's Kate from LoveStory, and today we're going to talk about the book Atomic Habits, an essay and proven ways to build good habits and break bad ones by James Clear. So this book I finished yesterday. I had the ebook version of it, and I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I don't generally read a lot of self-help books, and I have a hard time actually rating them because a lot of things when I consider rating and characters and plot and that kind of stuff, prose and that kind of stuff, you don't really have in self-help books. So I have a hard time rating these, but I give it about 3.5 out of 5 stars because it didn't feel like a 4-star book to me, but it wasn't bad. I enjoyed reading it and I got a lot out of it. Probably won't go back to it again unless I'm looking for something very specific, but I enjoyed reading it. Some things that I appreciated from the book were that James Clear gave us tons of examples, and there were some from like his friends, like, you know, everyday type of people, and there were some from famous athletes and famous comedians and stars and musicians and coaches, and so it gave you the whole gambit of habits and people that have good habits and create habits. And so I really appreciated that because you could see it, you could see the whole gambit of it. But he also, and some of them were like very normal habits and some of them were extreme. And when they were extreme, he said like, this is an extreme example, so don't think you have to absolutely do this. Another thing that I really appreciated in this book was that he gave us plenty of ways to manage habits and create habits and stop doing bad habits, different techniques and systems and whatnot. But he always said, like, not everything is going to work for every person, and so if this doesn't work for you, don't worry about it, find something else. And he even gave examples of different things that he was writing about, different techniques that didn't necessarily work for him. He tried it out for a day or a week or a month or a year and realized it wasn't working for him, so he stopped it and found something new to work on. So that I really appreciated. The theory of atomic habits is that you should work on getting better and increasing by 1% every day instead of creating these big giant goals or thinking I want to lose 150 pounds in the next year. Just work on creating smaller habits to build up to those big goals instead of just always thinking of the big goals. When you think of the big goals, your mind often gets overwhelmed and you're not as successful at obtaining those goals as you would be if you focus on the smaller steps that lead up to those big goals. So I really, really appreciated that point of view because it helps. Especially now that we're winding down in 2020 and we're coming up on 2021, a lot of people are going to be creating New Year's resolutions, and a lot of those kinds of things is, you know, lose this much weight, read this many books, write this book, do this, save this much money. And if you think of those New Year's resolutions in terms of smaller atomic habits, like atomic being the atom, it helps become successful at those goals because you're thinking in much smaller steps. You're thinking in like small bites instead of the big meal in itself. So I really appreciated that. I really enjoyed Atomic Habits, 3.5 out of 5 stars, like I said. If you've read this book, let me know what you think. The other thing that I got out of this book that I forgot to mention is that it has helped me be more conscious of my good and bad habits. And so when I notice that I am either doing something or not doing something that I should be doing, I try to fix that. I create a habit to fix that bad habit, or to keep doing the good habits. So it's really helped me be more conscious of everything that I do, because everything you do in a day, whether it's big or small, is a habit. And some habits are good and some habits aren't so good, and some habits, you know, are good for just that moment, and some are good for long term. So this book really helped me keep all of that in mind and be more conscious of everything I'm doing. So that's my very quick review on Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones by James Clear. I highly recommend it if you need a good self-help book. Also a good book for nonfiction November. And like I said, leading into January and New Year's resolution time. So I highly recommend it if you're looking for a book like that. Like I said, if you've read this book before, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. And I will catch you all again soon. Have a great day. Bye.